Numerology suggests that November 26, 2016, when the Americans accused the Russians and Syrians of using chemical weapons in their takeover of Aleppo, and when China circled Taiwan with nuclear-capable jets, was the start of World War III. Matthew Nicholson shows how the beginning and ending dates of all American wars are based on numbers. He shows that November 26, 2016 is 5,555 days after September 11, 2001, and that 1126 plus 2016 equals 3,142, and that plus its inverse is 5,555. 4 fives are seen in the Washington Monument, as it is 555.5 feet tall, making it the tallest obelisk in the world according to Wikipedia. But it's not the tallest. This is. At 571 feet, the San Jacinto Battleground Monument in Houston is taller and more important. The monument, the reflecting pool, and the compass were built to precisely point to the site of the world's first atomic explosion that would take place a decade later. The western end of the atomic ley line is the Watsonville Airport. The runways were built during World War II. This runway points to the Trinity test site, and this runway is listed as being 4,501 feet long. 4,501 plus 1,054 equals 5,555. 4,501's inverse is extremely important in nuclear numerology, since there were officially 1,054 nuclear tests in the United States. 911 of them were in Nevada. It is 893 miles from this runway to the Trinity obelisk. 8 times 9 times 3 is the same as 6 times 6 times 6, which equals 216. The number of nuclear, atmospheric, underwater, and space tests from the runway to the San Jacinto Battleground Monument is 1,616 miles. Revelation 16:16 says, "He gathered them together into a place called Armageddon." Armageddon means the place in Syria for the gathering of the troops. There are already troops from 24 countries in Syria. ISIS has a magazine called The Beak. Some Sunnis believe Muslims will have an end-times battle with the Romans in Tafik, Syria. Since there is no longer a Roman army, the House of Representatives passed the Caesar Syria Civilian Protection Act of 2019 that will pave the way for an expanded war in Syria. 5 represents death in the occult. 5s were used extensively when 5 hijackers attacked the Pentagon on 9/11. The Pentagon has 5 sides, is 5 stories high, and it's 5 rings. In simple gematria, the Pentagon has a value of 125, or 5 times 5 times 5. Exactly 125 people inside of the Pentagon were allegedly killed on 9/11. WWIII in Jewish gematria equals 1,827. 1,827 days before November 26, 2016 was November 26, 2011, exactly 5 years. On that date, NASA launched a rocket to Mars, as Mars is the god of war. World War III in Jewish gematria is 2,233. That plus its inverse equals 5,555. The Bible tells how the Babylonians kept the chosen people in captivity for 70 years. 70 apocalyptic years after the United Nations adopted the partition plan for Palestine is November 26, 2016. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, quoted the Gita saying, "If the radiance of 1,000 suns were to burst at once into the sky, that would be like the splendor of the Mighty One," in describing the Trinity bomb. Linkin Park's album, 1,000 Suns, that is all about nuclear destruction, has part of that speech by Oppenheimer.
He knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him, takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
Those that control America's nuclear arsenal control all the nuclear weapons on Earth. If they didn't, they would not have given them away to the other countries. Starting with the Soviet Lend-Lease program out of Great Falls, Montana that is documented in Major Jordan's diary, all nuclear proliferation has its roots in New Mexico.
I have been asked whether, in the years to come, it will be possible to kill 40 million American people in the 20 largest American towns by the use of atomic bombs in a single night. I am afraid that the answer to that question is yes. I have been asked whether there are specific countermeasures against the atomic bomb. I know that the bombs that we make in Los Alamos cannot be exploded by such countermeasures. I do not think there is any foundation for the hope that such countermeasures will be found. I have been asked whether there is hope for the nation's security in keeping secret some of the knowledge which has gone into the making of the bombs. I am afraid there is no such hope.
The vision of George Washington that was published in 1859. He told of three great perils that would come upon the Republic. The first was the Revolutionary War. The second would be the Civil War. And the third, he said, "When the voice had ceased, the dark shadowy angel placed his trumpet once more to his mouth, and blew a long and fearful blast. Instantly a light, as of 1,000 suns, shone down from above me, and pierced and broke into the fragments of the dark cloud which enveloped America."
1,000 points of light. This is my mission, and I will complete it.
The tribulation, which may be World War III, lasts 7 years. 7 apocalyptic years after November 26, 2016, is October 21st, 2023, which may be the end of World War III and the tribulation. There are only 2 days in 2023 before October 21st, where the date plus the year plus its inverse equals 5,555. One of those days is January 20th, 2023, the day Pence has its 6th anniversary in office. In relation to the 6th trumpet, Revelation 9:15 says, "And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men." Nuclear weapons could slay 2.5 billion people in a day. A day and a month and an apocalyptic year before January 20th, 23 is Christmas Day in 2021. These numbers relate to the orbital speed of Saturn of 9.69 kilometers per second. The Iraq War started 555 days after 9/11 when George Bush said he needed to stop Gog and Magog. The state named after Kali, the goddess of destruction, ran ads about the power of 5.
Thank you.
But on the 5th day of the 5th month, he takes his friends up the 5 on a 5-day trip to wherever the number 5 takes them. As you can see, it works out quite well for him. When you find a number that works for you, you stick with it. Discover the power of 5 with Power 5 Scratchers.
Beware of the power of 5.